I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
WWE legend Kurt Angle steps back into the ring to defend the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's take a look here.
Legend representing the 6-time Super Bowl champs, and now he thinks that they can be AFC North champs. Angle, is that really true?
Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
Let's find out. Come on. Well, I guess I shouldn't be surprised. We've dropped 7 out of 8 to these guys. We come up short against Pittsburgh more than we have in the playoffs. But
so he can't wrestle Cena's final match, but he can wrestle this J-Brone on behalf of the Steelers. God damn it,
we're better now. No, and I know we're bigger now. Wrestling loves royalty, and we're gonna make them put the crown on King Henry. Yeah. Now you see that? Look at that. Look at the core here. Goes against them. Tell you what, Angle. In the sport. Splat. Tell you what, Angle. Your boys are gonna learn what I call the 3 I's: incompletion, interception, and intentional grounding. Time to
what the man? He's eating wrestling moves. What's going on? I thought he couldn't go.
Yeah. Get out of here. I'll give this to the Steelers. They will never quit, and neither of us will ever submit. So it comes down to this. Who's going to hit our finisher first? Come on! WrestleMania runs wild, or the belt stays in the beltway. This match is scheduled for one fall. Let's play some ball.
Jesus Christ, if we got that much out of Cena versus Kurt, I'd be happy. Speaking of like crossovers, though, we have another one here. Here, I don't know why this is in. Oh, yes. I thought we had another sports crossover. All good, though. So Nixon Newell noted on her Twitch stream that she will only be in professional wrestling for 1 more year. She says, I told you guys at the beginning of the year, this is my last 2 years in wrestling. We're already a year gone, so I want to have fun this last year. And then there's a massive brawl backstage on AEW Dynamite. It's blood and guts, 12 people in 2 matches, a false count anywhere with Hangman Hobbs. And then backstage, there's just a bunch of people brawling hardcore. Tony Khan's the worst booker of all time. Speaking of being poorly booked, Luke Menzies says he wasn't told what to work on during his last year in WWE. He said, I asked the questions. I said, is there anything I need to work on? When I got taken off TV, I was pitching ideas. One of the pitches was for me and Yoshiki and Imura to do a best out of 5 series. Listen, I'm not even going to read all this because Luke Menzies, you negotiated down to 1 year. So they're not going to take any of your pitches. They're just going to steal your ideas and give it to people who are going to stay there for 3 years, which you weren't doing. And Rich Holland stated that WWE will be paying for his upcoming neck fusion surgery. So good for them. And he slapped everyone in the face with that GoFundMe, kind of. Just putting it out there. So, speaking of being out there, Sonya Deville speaks on CJ Perry's Identity Crisis podcast and recalled pretending during a pretend NXT promo drill between Liv Morgan and Mandy Rose that turned into a real fight. So she said that she was supposed to be separating them with Aaliyah and Danielle Camella, but she felt punches whiz past her ear before hearing one of the girls say, so this is Mandy Rose and Liv Morgan getting in a real fight, and one of them's like, what, bitch? And then her partners bounce, leaving Deville in the middle of a scramble. She said the fight ended with Liv yelling, you pulled my hair, and Mandy yelling back, at least my hair is real, bitch. So Raven revealed that he has serious health battles after he kept them private. He reveals that he hid a heart attack from everybody and that he also has like narcissistic personality disorder. He was officially diagnosed with something along those lines, right? But Joey Janela explodes. Speaking of ECW legends, Joey Janela explodes after accusations that he had a hand in Sabu's death. Now, Joey Janela famously wrestled Sabu's last ever match. A lot of people blamed him. They were like, dude, why'd you have him? They people were like, they drugged him up to get him down there or whatever. And so while speaking to Fightful, Joey Janela said that what you get in real life is a very cute, young, handsome boy who 100% didn't kill Sabu. Fuck you for saying that. Fuck you, because you could get hit by a bus. You could get in a fucking plane crash if you said that to me. Go get in a fucking plane crash and don't survive like the guy did in India. That sole survivor of that plane crash. What? The fuck you talking about? Don't survive like Flair. Die in the flames if you believe that I killed Sabu, or you listen to Jim Cornette or anyone saying whatever. That kratom is like 10 times as strong as fentanyl, and you have to snort it, inject it, and not drink it as a herbal tea that people drink every day to get off opiates. I don't know about it. I've never taken kratom in my life. I'm coming back to AEW tomorrow. I'm wrestling Kenny Omega and Okada in a 3-way match. When the fuck was this? Oh, no, he's talking. Okay, he's talking like retrospectively. So he got the scoop now for me. I'm coming in to wrestle in the stadium. I'm winning both belts. Oh, he's just being sarcastic. Sorry. So I was like, did he ever even wrestle when Okada was there? I thought he was fired before. So he's just talking shit, making fun of like, here, run with this scoop. I'm going to win the belts, and I'm going to main event Hangman and Moxley in a 3-way match. I'm going to have both belts. I'm going to unify them. I don't know. Joey Janela, you should lay off the kratom or whatever the fuck you took before this interview, because I don't know what the fuck you're babbling about. But Michael Elgin, people, Ringside News talk about how Michael Elgin lost his TNA deal over accusations no one investigated. Now, he's reached out to a lot of dirt sheets and whatnot. Michael Elgin's even reached out to me. And people, like, I don't know. He just has like a long list of things. So I just think people, again, we talk about it all the time, benefit of the doubt. So like on the 7th accusation or whatever the fuck, it's hard to like give you the benefit of the doubt type shit. So, but either way, Elgin, like, you know, we covered it on the show. He leaked a bunch of DMs of him reaching out to like all these different sheets. So let's read this from Ringside. I guess he talked to Duke on Duke Loves Wrestling again. Buddy. So Duke willing to platform people who others I don't think are, you know, some goobers in some senses. But during the interview, Elgin went claim by claim, breaking down the 3 accusations that surfaced in 2020 and how he responded in real time. He also revealed that Impact Wrestling originally promised to back him, then quietly paid out his contract and move on to avoid social media backlash. The first allegation came from a 2016 incident where Elgin admits he sent a woman an unsolicited explicit photo. According to him, it was the result of a drunken dare while out with fellow wrestlers. We were drunk and they're like, you can't be messaging girls. I dare you to send her a dick picture. So I literally Googled a dick picture and sent it to her. Not saying that's justified. It's stupid. Okay, so that's one. And he admits. Despite apologizing immediately after and again years later, the incident resurfaced online in 2020. I 100% agree that I was wrong in that, but unless I was just spamming people with pictures, that's not a cancelable offense. No, here's the problem. You don't get to dictate what's a cancelable offense. That's the people dictate that, right? So, and this whole, like, sending dick pics. Jesus Christ. And I don't believe he Googled a dick pic either. If guys say that, I don't believe that. You sent your shit. I apologize then, or unless maybe you can prove it. You can do like the Google search or whatever with the image, but I apologize then again in 2020. That was 2016, not a pattern. The second claim accused Elgin of attempted assault in 2011. So we're talking claims that go back a decade plus, 13 years and shit, whatever the fuck, 15 years, wherever the fuck we're at. My IR math, right? And so there's an attempted assault and an unsolicited dick pic. And then the speaking out movement, people wanted to get rid of people who had shit, like sketchy shit in their past, and people went after them and whatnot. So it got resurfaced, but nonetheless. He attempted assault in 2011. The woman claimed so assault on a woman and allegedly, this is all alleged, but initiated contact while she was asleep in a shared bed during an ROH taping. Elgin says that's not how it happened and that there were multiple witnesses in the room to prove it. We all came in from a night out. She was getting into the bed, and I said, hey, do you want to have sex? She said no. I said, okay. I should have picked up someone from the bar anyway and went to bed. What? He acknowledged the comment was immature and classless. So here's the thing, but rejected the serious label other tries to attach to it. So here's the thing, right? He keeps acknowledging, like, well, this was bad, but then shit keeps happening, though. Like, at what point? These are like incidences that are 5 years apart and then 4 years later resurfaced. Have you not learned? Or whatever the fuck, right? Like, I get what he's trying to say. Well, they're all far apart from each other. And it's like, yeah, but, you know, there's lots of people, like the majority of people don't have dick pic situations arise. You know what I mean? So, like, you got to understand, like, the perception on that. And then he acknowledged, okay, he said, try and portray that as anything more vile, like attempted essay. And that's true. I mean, if he's just like saying some egotistical shit, but again, he's like, there's multiple witnesses in the room. Where have any of them stepped forward then? Like how come you're just saying this thing that nobody else has come out and backed up? That's what I'm interested in, I guess, right? Because it's like, you're saying there's a bunch of people in the room, so you said that in front of a bunch of people? Like, oh, I should have just grabbed someone from the bar and brought them back or whatever, but I just went to bed. I agree. If that is the God's honest 100% what happened, but we don't know, though. No one was in there, or you're saying other people were, then they have to come out and vouch for you. Otherwise, it's just he said, she said. And she said that you tried pulling shit on her when she was asleep, and you're saying that you just asked politely if you want to bang, and then she rejected you, so you made a snide remark or whatever the fuck. So again, it's just he said, she said. So it's like, we can only believe you as much as the next person, unless that's incredibly ignorant and misplaced. There were real victims in that movement, bloodied lips, emergency room visits, but you're going to say this is in the same category? It's disgusting. I mean, that's fair, but if he's referring to the speaking out movement, it's a spectrum, right? Like, I mean, it's like assaulting someone. If I just walked up to someone and I kept poking them on the shoulder, and I kept poking them and kept poking them and kept poking them, and I'm not hurting them, but I'm annoying them and I'm causing them physical discomfort, that's assault. Just like if I walked up and punched them one time in the face is assault. Now, there's varying degrees. You have to look at it case by case, but like, I'm not saying that's assault, brother, but I'm just saying that, like, yeah, when everyone is like being called out for fucking weirdo shit they did, and you have a couple weirdo stories, then those are going to come to light. And again, it's not me trying to choose sides. I'm just trying to give the benefit of the doubt to maybe people who felt victimized or other sides of stories, that Duke isn't going to interview the fucking chick that this happened to. You know what I mean? That's not going to happen. So this is all like wrestler clout. That's what this is about. So it's disgusting. And so the third accusation involved a woman Elgin briefly dated. Now, again, someone you dated. So we have someone you worked with, and then we have some other girl you were hitting up. So someone you worked with who knew you in a work capacity, we're on the road, we'll share a bed capacity, said you creeped. Okay. So that's one type of relationship. There's another person who you were just hitting up on the side and you sent an unsolicited dick pic or whatever. So that's a whole other different type of relationship. Now, someone you straight up dated, like was your girlfriend, was your boo thing. Okay, was your girlfriend now also has a story. Whoa, those are three completely, these aren't like, this isn't like a rock star with three groupies who are like, hey man, this guy fucking, and the shit with Jordan Grace, where there's stuff about Jordan Grace wanted to bang him and all this shit. You guys remember that? So it just seems like there's some like toxic shit between this dude and women going on. You guys understand why I wouldn't touch this, right? You guys just look up Michael Elgin. He's responded to a bunch of my tweets and shit. You guys would understand why I'm like, I don't know. I'm cool. I'm over here now, right? Like, I don't need wrestlers on my show that bad. You know what I mean? No offense, but it's like, so here's a girlfriend now involved. A woman Elgin briefly dated. She accused him of emotional manipulation. Now, again, emotional manipulation is not SA. Like, everyone's adults. If you can vote, if you can join the military, if you can smoke a cigarette, get a beer, gamble, go to war or whatever the fuck, woman or man, you're old enough, you have agency. If you get manipulated and sucked into a cult, I mean, you got to take some onus on that. If you get, like you're an adult, like people make choices. It's like, oh, we'll see. I don't know the details. I wasn't dating either of them, but it's like they emotionally manipulated me. Okay, maybe this one, but is that the way he's phrasing it though? Right? Like, I don't know the ins and outs of the story, but it just seems, I don't know, man, three strikes, you're kind of out. I don't know if it's, right? Anyways, so claiming he led her on, called her fat and cheated. I mean, that's not good, bro. Why date someone if that's what you did? But again, that's her story. Let's hear his story. Elgin said the two were never officially dating and that he was upfront the entire time about his emotional availability after separating from his wife. Okay, fair enough. Maybe he got roped into some shit and she was more attached than him. Trying to be fair here. So how did I cheat on you if we weren't in a relationship? I told her I wasn't ready for anything serious. She didn't like that and spun it into a sob story. I shared all the texts where she apologized. Okay. Maybe vindicated. Now when I'd have to read the test, but once something's online, nobody cares about proof. Don Callis told me we're going to fight for you. The company's going. See, we covered this all on this show already, but Don Callis told me we're going to fight for you. The company's going. So a guy that again has had unfavorable stories and accusations float around about him. Again, this is all allegedly. This is South Park, actually. Everything's allegedly. Made up. It don't matter, right? It's like, whose line? I'm lying right now. This is all just made up people, and I'm not even real. All right? It's all allegedly. So, he goes, I don't know. I just said I don't want to risk social media hating on them for clearing me. So instead, they paid me the remainder of my 3-year deal and sent me home. That's what TNA did. No investigation, nothing. He says, I was supposed to go to NOAA in 2021. I gave them everything for the work visa. When I didn't hear back, I contacted them and they told me TNA canceled me without telling me. No, hold on. How does TNA cancel you? TNA canceled me. What does that mean? Right? This is the problem, too. It's like the Joey Janela thing. What is cancel culture? It's like Chris D'Elia and these guys. Oh, I'm canceled. Here's my Netflix special after I was canceled from everywhere. I don't know, man. I don't think it's like canceled. You're not. It's just like they just don't want to get any on them. Like they don't want to risk. It's becoming a liability perhaps at this point, or they need some. Like, especially when each accusation is years apart, that's showing like a habitual, what shit is not surfaced over the years that we didn't see is all people can think. Again, the benefit of the doubt. So the proof in that one instance, okay, maybe your girlfriend covered for you, or your ex-girlfriend or ex-situationship or whatever covered for you, or not covered for you. I guess that's not the correct way to put this. Like, vindicated you in that instance, I guess. Maybe I'd have to read those texts again or see them in general. I don't think I've ever even seen them, but anyways, I contacted them and they told me TNA canceled me without telling me. As far as the ongoing rumors that he was accused of things like physical abuse or assault, he says that internet fiction that spiraled far beyond the original accusations. People tweet at me, don't you physically abuse women? Don't you SA women? But I was never accused of that, not once. People just saw the word accused and ran with it. I didn't lay low. I sued people. I posted the evidence. I've said from day one, if anyone has something real, take me to court, but they never do. They just post online and disappear. Fair enough, man. If that's the truth, then look, I'm not perfect. I've said things I regret. I've done dumb stuff, but I'm not the villain they made me out to be. And I've always stood up for myself with proof. That's something I'll never apologize for. Yeah, so I mean, nothing new there. We covered all of that on the show, but we never really got his like perspective, I guess, of him saying like, well, for this accusation, here's my excuse. For this one, here's my rebut. For this one, it wasn't even real. We just seen him sort of post text and get messy and stuff. I guess we'll see. Maybe he'll be welcome back. He's expressed things to me like he doesn't give a fuck. And he doesn't care. Like his time's come and gone, and he's not trying to get booked anywhere or booked again. He just wants the truth to be out there. That's fair. But if you're not trying, like, why is Joey Ryan doing what he's doing if not for him trying to get back into wrestling. Why would you care and go on like a wrestling show then if it wasn't like a plea at wrestling? It's an interesting story, I suppose. I'm just not sure what the angle is then if it's not like trying to get back booked somewhere or like be vindicated by who? Wrestling fans? They just told you to go away and you did, and that's, I'm not sure. When we looked it up though, wasn't there like more things than just the 3 things? I think when we looked it up, there was like more things that just weren't involved with like women, but they were like, I might be entirely wrong about that. Let me ask Grok, and Grok isn't always correct, but let's just say Elgin was accused of ignoring or downplaying a female fan's claim that one of his wrestling students essayed her. The accuser stated she informed Elgin, this is according to PW Torch, but she allegedly advised her not to pursue it publicly and continued working with the student. Several independent promotions, including Smash Wrestling and Limitless Wrestling, canceled his appearances in response. Elgin denied wrongdoing, claiming he encouraged her to go to the police. And some fans defended him, arguing the accuser had a history of similar claims. Okay, that's on Reddit. This also tied into backlash over private comments Elgin made criticizing tag partner Jeff Cobb's work ethic. Nah, I don't think that's real. Yeah, see, Grok is all fucky. You can't trust Grok. So there was a 2021 arrest for violating a protective order. In 2022, Elgin was questioned. Some sources said arrested in Japan over a gym dispute involving supplements, gear, rumors of theft, and deportation circulated. He denied arrest, claiming it stemmed from breaking up a fight and bringing his own equipment. This led to missing Noah shows and vacating tag titles. So he said he got canceled by TNA, and so he missed Noah shows. But meanwhile, and maybe he did criticize Cobb, I don't know, but meanwhile, it was because he got arrested for a fight in Japan. So this is what I mean. It just seems as though there's more than meets the eye, Brian, when it comes to this, and you can always get one side of the story, but it is what it is. Gisele Shaw. NWA, the quintessential diva, Gisele Shaw makes her NWA debut at NWA Power on Roku Live. Let's take a look at her promo.
Attention, attention. I have some exciting news. I am so elated to tell you that I, the quintessential diva, the head of the Commonwealth realm, Gisele Shaw, will be making my NWA debut on December 13th in Tampa, Florida. And I'm really looking forward to shaking things up a little bit.
Nice. I bet that music's going to get me sniped. So former WWE wrestler Ralph Mosca passes away at only 55, man. Terribly sad. Best wishes out to him and to his family, rather. Natalya Markova has won the NWA World's Women Championship. Speaking of NWA, Kenzie Page's reign comes to an end at 720 days. He defeated Maddie Neidhart, but Markova comes in. The Russian Dynamo.
That's not enough. That knows it's not enough. Oh, a fourth beautiful destruction. The double underhook. The DDT.
A DDT.
Do it. She's gonna do it. No. It's an unstoppable reign by Kenzie Page is covering obstacle in the NWA World Women's Champion.
Hell yeah, good for her, man. Good for NWA, putting on some shows. Priscilla Kelly claims she was bullied to the point of being self-deletionable in WWE. And let's read this here from Ringside News. Shout out Ringside News with all the hot goss. The TMZ before TMZ, which we're going to talk about in a bit. She said that she kind of went through this, and shout out Denise Salcedo, who this is where the quote's pulled from. I kind of went through this down period of I hate my life. I'm collecting a paycheck. I'm just hoping someday I can get back to who I am and the performer that I am. Back into the man I used to be. And as soon as I started to feel, as soon as I started to feel like I was myself again, I tore my meniscus. I've got a lot going on in my personal life on top of everything else. Both of my parents have a lot of issues, and my dad's been in prison for the last 4 years. He actually just got out this past weekend. I'm dealing with my little brother that is going through hell, and he's on his own. And my mom's got all kinds of issues. My dad's locked up. I have a lot of personal stuff going on. The pressure of WWE is a lot. There just was a lot of pressure those first 2 years because I was new and I came from the indies. There was a lot that they were trying to beat out of me. There was just stuff going on behind the scenes. I don't want to bring it up because I know it'll blow up and then it'll become a whole thing. But let's just say some people were very, very, very not nice to me, to the point that I was deletionable for a little bit, but I was really going through it. Once I got out of that, I would say in the beginning of 23, I started doing main events on the main roster and stuff. And that's when I really felt like, okay, this is who I am and this is the kind of wrestling I like to do. Yeah, I wonder who was bullying. It seemed like the generation before, there was a bit of a Mean Girls Club going on, and then that sort of has been, a lot of those folks were released or whatever. Priscilla Kelly discussed the misconception that every talent under the WWE umbrella makes a lot of money. He says she makes more money now than in NXT. I 100%. When it comes to Cross, I don't know if him and Scarlett combined are making more money than they did. But when it comes to Kelly, for sure. And like Shotzi, I believe it for sure. She's like, there's contracts as low as $30K a year, and they did not go as high as you think. You have to live in Florida, which is very expensive to live there, having to pay for new gear all the time and all these expenses and taking care of your body and all these little things. It all adds up. At the end of the day, especially because you can't make money outside of what you make in WWE, you don't make a lot. But with that being said, with all of my work, all the bookings I've been taking, I arguably think I actually make more than I did in NXT now, which is wild for people to comprehend. Speaking of former WWE, foreclosure notice on his home led to Ridge Holland's WWE Twitter rant. So while he was in WWE, he was already fucking up. While he was in WWE, he was getting foreclosures on his fucking house. Because listen, this is why I break it down that way. When he wasn't being renewed / released, right? It wasn't that long until he started tweeting out, fuck, what the fuck? Only a couple months. If your house is getting foreclosed on, that shit is 6 months to a year in the making, brother. Like, that's like 6 months ago you made some fucking decisions where shit went around. You know what I mean? To get foreclosed on and shit. There's some shit brewing for months that is so again, and that's what made him go off on WWE. WWE's paying for his next fusion. On the Wrestling Classic podcast, Ron Simmons confirmed he and Ahmed Johnson have made amends after being asked about a recent photo of them together. So there you go, man. Ron Simmons and Ahmed Johnson squashed their beef. That fucking rules, and that's good to see. So speaking of ruling and owning, David Otunga was on TMZ. He had this to say on TMZ Inside the Ring. David Otunga tells the story about sandbagging the Great Khali on purpose because he didn't want to take his two-handed chokeslam. And then David Otunga says he killed someone in OVW with that by accident.
You what?
And wasn't there rumors, like, didn't Great Khali kill a guy in Minecraft in pro wrestling? Like, isn't that a real thing? Or that's at least the gimmick they worked for him. But either way, let's hear Otunga's rendition of this story, and then Jim Cornette claps back, and then TMZ responds to Jim.
Khali had another finisher, and it was like this two-handed choke slam. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but he killed somebody with that in OVW by accident.
I forgot
In
about
OVW.
this. Oh my gosh, you're right.
I was well aware of that. Right?
Yeah, of
So
course.
during this loop, he's already busted my eye open, and now he decides, hey, let's do a different finish tonight. I want to give, I don't even know what he called it, the two-handed choke slam. And I was like, ain't that the death move? No, Khali, I think I'm good. And he's like, no, we want to do this. And I told him, I don't take it well. I just don't really want to do it. And
You beat the Baldo Bob, dude? You were scared to take the Baldo Bob.
I told our agent, who was Arn Anderson, and actually, Khali tried to tell on me. And he told Arn Anderson, Tunga's scared. He's scared to take the move. So Arn comes to talk to me, and I said, I'm not scared. I said, well, actually, I am. I don't know if I trust this.
Yeah.
So Arn said, I'll tell you what, kid. And he's like, one time somebody asked me to do a move that I didn't want to do. And he said, I did it so terrible, they never asked me to do it again.
That's funny.
I said, oh, all right. So we went out there. I told Khali, all right, fine, I'll do it. We did the match. We went for that thing. I hardly jumped. He barely got me up. It looked awful. It looked awful.
Yeah.
Said he had to use the chop anyway. Did I sandbag him on purpose? You're absolutely right. So then I came back through the curtain. I'll never forget. And Arn Anderson was right there. And he goes, I see you took my advice, kid. Yep. We never did that again.
That's smart.
Wow, that is
Right?
That's smart
What
to
did
do it
Khali
that
do
way.
after that?
He just gave me the chop. No,
was he okay with it? Like, was he mad at you?
He thought I just sucked. He thought I just took it bad. I don't care. Yeah, I let him think that. Hey, man, you can think I sucked. I don't care. But hey,
you're alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about that. So Jim Cornette says, wrong. Wrestling school by about 2,300 miles, dipshit. Nobody was ever killed, paralyzed, or allowed to dive off balconies in OVW. And the great Khali, nor any other lesser Khali, ever attended OVW. TMZ needs to fact check their programming. And then this did get fact checked, dude. The incident didn't happen at OVW. It was at an APW training session in 01. It was a botched flapjack that caused the trainee's death. And Khali did kill the guy, I guess, in Minecraft. God damn.
Thank you, fuck you, bye, boom.
So Jim Cornette with the smackdown on Otunga and TMZ, and that, ladies and gentlemen, was miscellaneous news.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid I've got some bad